When creating 3D models, it's best to decide where you create your sketches best. Illustrator or in the 3D modeling program you're using. In the 3D program, just make sure you're on the top view and then move the page to where you'd like to work. I like to see my coordinates, and then I work best in centimeters or inches, so I choose one of those measurements. In centimeters, it's very simple. Every square is 0.5 of a centimeter, and so you have 2.5 in a larger square. Now, your freehand sketch, you have straight lines or curved lines. You can switch back and forth between straight and curved with the spline, so I tend to use that one. When creating your sketch, you choose to draw on the paper, and then you're ready to start drawing. So if you're doing a straight line, you just click and it creates a straight line. However, if you are creating a curve, you click twice. That second time is when it starts creating the curve. If you wanted it to remain as a straight line, you would have just clicked to close. Sorry, my cursor's off right now. I think I have too many programs open. So I'm drawing starting point, click to stay straight, and then I click to close it straight if I want straight. That's the switching between. If I want to remain on the curve, then I click back, and when I do that second, it starts to create that curve so that I can create my shape as needed, which will make it look a little more natural and not so linear. But you're going to create your twig. So again, decide where you work best and which program. Once you've created that protruding structure, I'm just going to create something rough right now so that we have something to base off of. Okay, this is my beautiful branch, let's say, that we're creating. But once you have that closed shape, you'll actually get a fill. And then this fill, you'll be able to take your extrude tool, go to the side view, and extrude it necessary to the measurement you wanted. So if you wanted 1.5 centimeters, I could easily write 1.5. Hello, thanks for not doing that easily. Go back. To extrude, select 1.5 cm. Great. And obviously this is not rounded by any means. The first thing I do is I hide the sketch below. I find it sometimes gets selected, and I get rid of that. And that would be your first shape. Now you could create multiple twigs that will then connect later, but I'm going to pause you for a second before moving forward. Remember I talked about Illustrator. The other option is to create your twig, your branch, or whatever modeling it is in Illustrator. And now again, I'm just doing this really fast, but obviously the more time you spend on the actual diagram, the better it will look. Beautiful, gorgeous. But the goal is just to have a shape. You're going to save as an SVG. The SVG file is really cool because it can be read by 1, 2, 3. So maybe you're better at using the pen tool in here. You're going to spend more than 2 seconds creating your model. But here I can actually import in my sketch. Solid chooses a size for you. I don't recommend that. Bring it in as a sketch. Then I have my, what do we call it, twist branch. Stick. There we go. All right. So it brings in your 3D model. So you actually could bring in that whole thing. So if you're better at creating your sketch in here, in Illustrator than in 123D, that's totally fine. Because then you can create your beautiful design and spend time on it, not the 2 seconds I did. And you'll have that same base point that you'll be able to grab your extrude tool from, select your model, bring it up the 2.5 cm, and you're at the same point you were at in using the pen tool in here. So does not matter which model you like working best with, okay? You've got to create that side 2D profile first with the pen tool. Now, when you're actually starting to bring it to the next point, this is where you're going to start needing the program specific to modeling and not a choice program. To create the rounded edges, you select the model, and on the second select, you're able to select the line, and that will allow you to, depending on the direction you're going, fillet your shape or chamfer your shape. And I was going to say it's too complex of a shape to do this. That song's stuck in my head. I'm never singing it. Okay. If you select the line and you zoom in, for some reason 123D likes the zoom in feature more than I would like. Select the line, you'll be given your little anchor menu, and you'll have your options of how you'd like your sidings to actually be. And that's where you start to create the rounding of your shape. And you can do this on multiple chords, so it starts creating some shape to it. You can tweak any part of it. If the structure itself is too tall, reminder, you just use the surface to bring down the structure too. So if you're finding that that's not working either of the sides, you can change that. And you see now I've subtracted from that 2.5 to 0.6, now 1.8, sorry, 0.9 of a centimeter. And then same deal. Just go to the side you want to work with and select the side. Thanks, Jay. And then you'll be able to create that rounding. And so you'll go around and start rounding your shape and start creating more. Second thing, if you find that you have now a need for shapes and branches going more than just this one way, maybe you want one coming up, and it's not just a flat object, but you have something standing this way as well for more dynamic, that's fine. I'm just going to create a rough sketch of what that looks like. So I'm just going to go back to the ground and create this beautiful branch part that's going to extrude from it. Click. This guy I will now extrude. And again, I hide my sketches. Sorry. Sometimes gets in the way. And then this guy, I'm going to actually take and I'm going to move up and I'm going to rotate. And then I will start seeing which way do I want this to connect to my shape. So now I'm going to move. So maybe this is the side extrusion of the branch that you're working on. You can see now they're kind of starting to connect. When I find the placement of that, so maybe I want it all the way in, but now, no, not for me. Rotate that. So now I have this second piece that comes out of it. As I start to move though, maybe I want to move this and work on the other side. It's still two separate pieces. So once you've added that component and you have that second piece coming out where you'd like, same deal, you can round all the sides same way and get that actual effect going, that it's not just this linear geometric. Once you're done and you're happy with the looks of them both, then you're going to go to your combine menu and merge the two together. So select your main branch, select your secondary branch, and you now have one branch that moves as a unified group. And you can do that as many times as you want. So if you create multiple sketches coming out different ways from the twigs, as you can see, really the most important part of creating your diagram is spending time on the pen tool work at the very beginning. Whether you're sketching in 123D, whether you're sketching in Illustrator, spend time on that part. The rest really doesn't take that long. If you want to add a material to this, you are more than welcome to. But again, the material does not print, so it's not a big deal. But if you want to, you'll have that option for you. Once that's done, then you'll send it to Mesh Mixer, and in Mesh Mixer it will check for any errors for when you're printing it. It'll show you how it will look in the printer, and that will be very helpful to proofing your final work. If this loads, I'll show it to you quickly. One sec, Jay. If not, I will make a second video for everyone to check their files. Mesh Mixer quit. I'll make a second video for that. But spend time on the layout of your actual twig on the ground or your model on the ground. It will save you lots of time.